Hey guys, welcome on back to AnKorage Extras, and this is where I have videos that really don't belong anywhere else. And today I'm going to be focusing on those guys right over there. Switch to Linux. What do I do for switch to Linux? So I've got a freshly steeped cup of tea here. It's just your ordinary black pico, and I've added in a blend of St. John's wort. It's very hot right now, so I could start sipping it, but I'm just going to give it a little bit of time. So, and we got special congratulations to Automatic, a friend of mine up at the top of the hill. I haven't seen her for over 5 months, since the beginning of November. And I did happen to see her in the office. I was bringing coffee to Freya, and Automatic was in there. And I'm like, hey, nice to see you. And I thought you'd be at work. She's like, well, I'm not at work. So, okay, whatever. And she let me know that she was 5 months pregnant. So now I know why I haven't seen her for 5 months since the beginning of November. She's expecting. So heartfelt congratulations to Automatic. And you may very well be living your best life, which is being mom. And that is a fantastic thing. This makes number 6, I think. So that's a good number to have, especially these days when people only have 1 or 2, maybe 3, stuff like that. Got to have a big family. You know, for some people, you got to have a big family. So if it's your thing, go for it. If not, you know, you got to go with the flow. You know, it is what it is. So anyhow, we're going to be focusing on what I do for the YouTube channel Switch to Linux, which focuses on, you know, the Linux operating system, namely the desktop version, which is what I'm using to record this right now. And so, you know, it's not Windows, it's not Mac. You know, this is an operating system that I control. I can control if it gets updated, and when and you know, if there are updates I put in there, what updates I can choose which updates to put in. Me generally, for my general flows, I mean, I go ahead and just update whatever it says. You know, but I don't have any complaints or you know, thoughts or conditions or, you know, concerns or anything like that, because I really don't do anything other than check my email. Maybe a little web browsing. Yeah, I do some online shopping, that kind of thing, but nothing really major stuff like that. I do have the raspberries, of course. You know, I've got the 4 of them, which are now Folkwanger. You know, it's a cluster of them, but they don't operate as a cluster. Each one has a specific role. There's 4, and but that's not this video. This video is for Switch to Linux over there. What do I do on that? And I wanted to kind of bring you along and show you what I do. We'll go through the whole thing. Yeah, when I review the footage, I'll see if there's places where I can make cuts just to kind of make it not seem as long as it might be. So we're gonna jump right into that. So we're gonna go over to my second monitor. Because I've got 2 monitors set up on my Linux system, and I'm using my second monitor for this video, so I'm going to bring us right over to that, and this is it right here. So as you can see in the upper right corner, you know, it says Solaria, and it's LMDE. I use Linux Mint Debian Edition because it just works. So what do I do when I'm out here? So you can't see that. So what I do is, one of the things I do is I post announcements for videos for Switch to Linux. Here is the YouTube channel for Switch to Linux right here, which on YouTube, it's youtube.com at Switched to Linux, and it's right there. Getting real work done on Linux. So writing, office documents, video editing, network, personal clouds, email, and the operating system in general. Distros, distributions, as we call it, and So on the homepage right here, we've got our latest video, which was from last night. We had the weekly news roundup. This is Saturday, March 15th today. And the common weekly thing is that we have the weekly news roundup on Friday nights at 8 o'clock Eastern time. And then after that, he takes, it's a stream. So what he does is he takes a portion of the stream and breaks it out into its own standalone video. And we have it right here. So as we can see, there he is talking and everything like that. And I'm involved with these streams. What I do is I actually bring up the chats, the streaming chats for YouTube, Odyssey, and Rumble, and I moderate for him. And I moderate those chats. And we had an interesting thing last week, but I won't go into that. But it just took a quick fix as far as identifying me as a mod. But it's all fixed, and I'm technically a mod in the system now, and I've got a nice little icon next to my name. There we go. So anyhow, with this video here, of course, what I do is I can't hover over it, but I grab the actual picture there, the thumbnail. I grab the thumbnail for that video, and I hold it aside, and I keep it in a network drive, which is on one of my Raspberry Pis. It's on Folkvanger 2. Formerly it was Aurora. So Folkvanger 2. And so I already have it, and I already put it aside, so I'm ready to go forward with this. So what I do with this is I grab that thumbnail, and then I'm done with that for right now. So I'm just going to drag this back over here out of the way, and I'm going to close that because I don't need it right now. So the next thing I do is I'm a disrooter, meaning I am a supporter of disroot, so disroot.org. And I actually have this page. I happen to use one of their online solutions. This is CryptPad. So, and I use a Kanban board. So this is my Kanban board that I use for Switch to Linux for announcements. So you can see I've got all this text going on through here, stuff like that. I actually copy and paste this into social media and also out on Matrix. So I've got different things here. I've got for videos, supporter stream, and let's see, I forget what HNT stands for. But because it's been a while, and I use it for supporter streams. Oh, Hangouts, excuse me, Hangouts. We have Hangouts. So, weekly news roundup. So I have that there. We have premieres, which usually take place on Saturdays. We don't seem to have one today, so that's all right. That I could remember. I'll double check afterward. And then, on the remote occasion, there may be a short on YouTube. And also, we have the Van Panthers. I have a dedicated announcements for the Van Panthers. That would be Tom's Kitties. So I haven't used this in a very long time. And of course, I have them all separated out by code. The color coding. So we've got this maroon. We've got this rusty orange. We've got this brown, yellow, dark yellow, whatever. Got the green. Got the blue. Got the purple. All right. So this one is going to be for a video. So, but, what I want is all the text, but I don't do it this way. What I do is over here in this corner, I can click on this single line, and it reduces everything down. So this is where I want to have access to all of these, because this is all I really need. So I'm going to open up videos for X and Blue Sky. So here it is right here, videos for X and Blue Sky. I recently just got set up on Blue Sky. And so what we have here is I actually have links to the video pages. So we've got the YouTube video page, we've got the Odyssey video page, we've got the Rumble video page, and we've got the BitChute video page. And then, of course, there is, my hashtags. So I throw an @ to Switch to Linux to let him know, hey, here's a video, or here's an announcement, so we can see it. And then I do hashtags of switch to Linux, STL, Linux, Windows, Mac. So I am going to just click in randomly, and I'm going to do a Control A. So that highlights everything. And then I'm going to do a Control C for copy. I'm going to minimize that for the moment. And then I'm going to bring up X. So here's X right here. So from here, I am going to paste that in here. And I'm going to go get that thumbnail. So I'm going to go here. Other locations. Go to here, go to switch to Linux, go to graphics, and then I'm going to pick this is the thumbnail right here. And it's the one that I use for videos, streams, weekly news roundups, and premieres. And the thing is that this is the same file. So when I grab it, I just replace the previous one with the existing one. And so this is the same designated thing. So I just do that and it copies it. So, and there it is. So got that. And then what I do at this point is I go back and I'll look to see if there's any other interesting hashtag worthy items. Whether it be a name of a distro or something regarding privacy or anything like that. I didn't see anything for this one, so when I pulled up the actual video, I'll actually pop that back up briefly for a quick moment. Ooh, where am I at? Where are you, YouTube? You disappeared. Oh, I closed you. Never mind. So I am just going to go ahead and post this. So there it is. It's posted. So now I'm going to close that, and then I'm going to bring up Blue Sky, which is right here, and you can see you got here's my announcement for the actual stream that I did yesterday. I'm going to do a new post, paste that in there, go out, grab the thumbnail, and there it is, and post that. And there it is. All right, so that one's done. Let's move on to the Fediverse, starting with Frundica. So here we are. So this is Beastmark Technology. I have to remember that title. So I'm going to go to post and set the title. So this is you don't want that in all caps? Well, I've got that one that I wrote for yesterday, but I am going to change this from stream to segment. Spell it. There we go. All right. I'm going to go ahead. I'm just going to fire up the thumbnail now. That's going to load it, but I can't really see it. It'll disappear. Of course, I can see. Yeah, see, there it goes. It disappeared. So now I'm going to paste that in there. And Switch to Linux does not have an account on Frundica, so I actually remove that, and I post it. And we can see there's a new post up here. So I scroll up to make sure it's there, and then I'm done with that. So that's closed out. You might hear my little desktop sounds, so I apologize for that, but you know, I do desktop sounds. You may hear an occasional thweep out of Matrix. So one just came up. I'm going to pull that up real quick. My favorites. I'll check that later. So anyways, next up is going to be on Metapixel. So what I do on Metapixel, I'll do the post first. New post. There it is. And then I paste it here. And I'm doing a thing right now where actually I don't want that. I do this all the time, where I don't go back to CryptPad and get the right post. That's it. All right, Fediverse. There's this one. Open up you. Copy that. Minimize you. Paste you in there. And this week what I'm doing is I'm featuring hashtags on the different sites on the Fediverse. So this week is I'm featuring the hashtags on Frundica. This upcoming week will be here. And then from there, I will be doing Fedis root, which is a Pleroma-like instance using the Acoma front end. And then I'll be using Lemmy, and I'll be describing those as because that's the same order I'm going in right now. So I'll go ahead and I'll post that. That gets posted. This goes like this. And then I come out to my profile. I go to my collections here. I'm currently on Switch to Linux 3. And then I add a photo, which is the most recent one, which is Beastmark Technology from last night. And there it is. And I could scroll all the way down to the bottom and I can see where it is. So what I do out here on Metapixel is I basically, there it is I keep a record of thumbnails. And there we go. So that one's done. So now I am going to open up Fedis root. And here we are. And I'm going to check notifications. There's nothing here. Okay. So I'm going to do compose a post. And I'm going to go ahead and paste it. And because I'm not featuring hashtags for it this week, I'm removing that. And then I'm going to paste, upload the thumbnail, and I'm going to post it. And there it is. And people out on the Fediverse can see this, just like on Frenica. So I'm going to close that. And now I'm going to go to Lemmy. So here's Lemmy, which is, this instance is called Describe, and it's from Disroot. They provide it, and this is where I'm doing it. So we can see the latest Federation issues right there, but we can see my latest, I changed that. Beat mark, it's supposed to say Beast. I'm going to do that, and I'm going to save it. I'm going to go back to Describe. See, and there it is, Beastmark Technology. So I'm going to create a post for this segment, and I am going to call this Beastmark. And while I'm typing, if there's another post of mine that already has it, I can basically do that one, say, oh, here's a post regarding a post. No, I don't want to do that. I just want to use the title of it. And this is a segment from Weekly News Roundup. And of course, that got spelt wrong, so I need to change that. Let's see. I'm going to shoot down to the bottom here. And I run the community for Switch to Linux. It's provided by the AnKorage. That's me. And then I'm going to put in the thumbnail. There it is. I hit enter twice. Paste that in there. Not featuring hashtags for them this week, so there's that. I can preview it so you can see how it's going to look. That. And then I'm going to put an image, which is going to be my avatar. And here it is right there. The AnKorage for Switch to Linux, which is using it's using the same logo styling as Switch to Linux, but in a more clear, more vibrant, no 3D shading, 3D effects, stuff like that. This is, very forward, very vibrant. It's just my way of doing things. It's like, I think the quality of the shading and 3D, lighting and stuff like that is great. But for my purposes, I don't need any of that, so I don't do that. So there's that, and I go ahead and I post it. And here it comes, and there it is. So, and that one's done. Okay. So now that I've gone through all of those, I bring CryptPad back up. There it is. I close that out. And I move on to Matrix. So, here's the one from Matrix. So it's the same thing. I just copy all of this. And then I actually minimize. And then I bring up Matrix. So, here's Matrix right here. I brought us directly into the announcement area for new videos and streams. So what I do here is I paste what I want to say first, and then what I do is I add the attachment of the locations. Switch to Linux graphics. There you are. There's the image. I upload it, and then I hover over this. I wait for it to pop up, and there it is. And then I paste it, and there we go. So, yeah. So that is. Oh, if I can get this back over here. Get you off, and yeah. So there we go, and I'm back. All right. So that's what I do regarding announcements. And as I previously mentioned out on YouTube when I had that page up, is I moderate the chats for YouTube, for Rumble, and for Odyssey. Last night I brought up DLive and Twitch because he streams out on those at the same time on all 5 of those platforms. So he's got a lot of power being used for transmitting. Not a whole lot, but enough to make it run. To get that content out there. I don't moderate on those 2 because there's hardly ever anybody there. But I popped on just to kind of watch for comments, and there was one where someone just said hi and then nothing the entire night. So I basically think I might still pull them up, but as far as setting up user accounts for moderating and stuff like that, right now as I sit here, no, there's no point. Maybe in the future, but I've met Tom specifically. I've watched Switch to Linux for a number of years now, since before 20. So we're probably going back to like 17 or 16, probably. It was after I bought this place, that's for sure. And but I watched him for some time, stuff like that. Ended up in the hospital, stuff like that. Got out, and then a few months later, I actually met him. We met up for lunch. It was between lunch and dinner. It was an afternoon. I met him for barbecue at the Yankee Smokehouse up in West Ossipee. And that is located at the intersection of Route 25 and 16. So it's fantastic. It's really good food. I've gone there for a very long time. I haven't since I met him, unfortunately. I've been meaning to. I want to, but from where I sit here, 2-hour drive. So, however, I can get there in an hour and a half because I can take a different route. So, pardon me a second. I want a sip of this. It cooled off perfect. All right. So, I'm going to end that here. I met him at the Kitties and everything. And he was on his way. He travels around in his van around the country. And currently, and I met him there for that, and because he was on his way up into Maine. He was going all the way out to the border with New Brunswick, up by Callias. Callias, I believe, is on the New Brunswick side, across the river. Can't remember the name of it. It's not kind of bunk, but it's I can't remember the name of the river. I know it though. I just can't think of it at the moment. But anyways, we were thinking about meeting up. And I was all right, cool, awesome. And he's like, well, when I'm coming back through, how about if we meet up then? I'm like, yeah, sure, whatever. I'm like, he's like, all right, name a place. And I'm like, how about here? It's not in my route direction, stuff like that. It was either too far north or too far south. I'm like, well, where are you coming in? He's like, well, I'm coming in on 202. And I said, no. You came into the state on 302, excuse me. And I'm like, all right. I'm like, well, I know a place about 20 to 30 minutes south of where 302 comes into New Hampshire. because that's up by Conway and or North Conway, around that area. Probably North Conway. And I'm like, how about Smokehouse? It's South Carolina barbecue. They go in there and they fire up this open pit barbecue at like 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. They don't open until, hours later. And they do open pit barbecue with South Carolina barbecue sauce and stuff like that. I mean, they heat this stuff up. So when you order something and you want extra barbecue sauce, you ask for it, and they bring it to you in a squeeze bottle, and it's warm. They keep it warm. It's stuff is fabulous. I love it, and it's really good. Stuff like that. They did get new owners a few years back, at least, because they're expanding. I think the latest expansion was putting on a bar because of Bike Week. Bike Week takes place in Laconia, and of course, all the bikers, a whole bunch of bikers, go to the smoke pit. I call it the pit, and my family calls it the pit. And so we call it the smoke pit because it's open pit barbecue. But the bikers go there all the time, stuff like that. So they put on a bar for the bikers. All right, whatever. But the new owners, they also changed the pricing of things and stuff like that. I used to get the pork. They used to do sliced pork, the shaved pork, stuff like that. They used to do that, but the new owner came in, and now it's pulled pork like everybody else. So, it is what it is. It still tastes perfect. It's the same recipes, the same process, everything like that. It is the same pork and the same treatment and everything like that, except that it's pulled, which I don't agree with. I think it's lazy. I think it's lesser quality because that's what everybody else does. I don't know of anybody else that does sliced. And that, to me, is what made it different than everybody else. There, I said it. But in either case, it still tastes fantastic. It all still goes to the same place at the end of it all. But, yeah. So I met him up there, and we did that, and, he kept driving on out of the state on 202, everything like that. And about a couple years ago, I became a moderator for the chats during the streams, and I suppose I could moderate the comments in videos on those 3 platforms. I've looked and I've added stuff, and I haven't really removed anything for not needing to be there, being inappropriate or undesired or anything like that. Probably should more. I don't know. I should check on that if he doesn't mind. But we'll give this sense. So that's what I do regarding what I do on the computer for Switch to Linux. And it happened a lot quicker than I thought it would be. I thought this would be over an hour long, but it's not. It might only work out to be 20, 30 minutes because I've been talking. So I'm going to end it right there. So thanks for coming along to this AnKorage Extra. If you happen to like this content, make sure you comment, like, and subscribe. And you can also catch Switch to Linux on Friday nights for the weekly news roundup at 8 o'clock Eastern Time. And you can also see me on the supporter streams, in which I do the same thing. I moderate, and I'm also involved in the conversations. And this is the same shot that you see, minus the border graphic, because it's piped into his system, and he puts his graphics up. And but I'm using the same camera, so this is what you see behind me. All that going. I've got the proton pack going. I've got the trap up there. I've got my Battlestar, and I've got my Viper, and I've got my. If I turn this way a little bit, yeah, you can see my light that's lighting that up. But yeah, you can see the candlestick phone, which is the inspiration for my channel. And when I did my little restoration for it a little bit, to have as decoration, I could reconvert it back into an actual working phone, but I don't want to do that. But neither sense. So once you come on back into the future, and I'll have more videos coming up. So, and make sure you check me out on the Fediverse and on X, and that's all down below. I don't know if I have Blue Sky down there yet. I have to double check on it. and if I don't, I'll be sure to put it in. And there you are. So thank you very much for coming along. Skál, and you want to drink tea to victory.